Okay, hello, welcome, welcome everyone to this week's session of The People Speak Out, your opportunity to share your views on what's unfolding. So it's good to see so many people on the call, and let's just come across the screens, give us a wave, say hello, hi to everyone who's come on. Hi, just coming across, seeing who we've got here. Hi to Sass. And yeah, good to see you all. Kobe is going mad on the floor here. Oh, okay, right. So let's. I haven't got some. Oh, actually, I say that, but let me do it. Let me do it because I have got it actually. Let us do an invocation. I'm actually back at my old house because the broadband is working here and it's not working at my new home. So I've had to come back for this. So I don't have any bells and whistles today, but I will read an invocation for us just to tune in and just drop from mind into heart, into the body. Yeah, I'm feeling strangely nervous and discombobulated today, so it helps to center a little bit and drop for these calls. So I'm going to read the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door to where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Okay, so without further ado, let's come across the screens and let's check in with Brian. As you come on, you did send me a little message today to say that you would be coming on. So it would be nice to check in with you, Brian, and see what's going on for you in your world and whether you've been released from your incarceration. Hi, Brian.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well done. Thank you, Rachel. You're with the people. Well done with your relationship. I've heard about it. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, that's me. I'm still incarcerated. They have sort of moved me into a dormitory.
Oh,
they moved me out of a single room into a dormitory. I have a tribunal tomorrow. I'm going to try to adjourn it.
Why? Why are you adjourning it?
Because haven't had all the reports in. They're saying that the doctor's reports just goes to the tribunal. My solicitor seems to think that we should have had the doctor's report before the tribunal. And I haven't had time to go through all the reports with my solicitor either. He's been quite elusive.
Oh dear.
But he should know what he's doing. I got his number from Signet Hospital in London. And it is what the advocacy put up, a number of numbers. I didn't have a phone and I was offline, so I just had to do the best that I could do. But yes, some of these reports are absolutely nonsense.
Yeah.
I still confused why I'm here, really.
Oh dear, Brian.
The whole world's a bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
We do sort of.
Sorry, Brian, you're cutting out a bit there. And sorry to interrupt you, but I do wish you could get something other than a sort of legal aid person and get some top flight lawyer on the case. I think Brian's gone offline slightly there. Anyway, I'm gonna, yeah, so good to check in with you, Brian, and sorry to hear that you're still incarcerated there. And for those who don't know the background, oh, there you are, Brian. Do you want to complete?
Wait.
Ah,
Can you still hear me?
yeah, you're back. Do you want to just complete? Yeah. Oh, I think we're losing Brian. I don't think it's my internet connection. I think I'm quite stable here. Anyway, let's come across the screens to us, some other people. Let's come to Annie Davenport.
Hello all. It's lovely to be here. Thank you. I don't often get a Monday, and I suddenly realized it was a Monday I could get to today. So it's lovely. I'm hoping everyone's doing okay. I don't know about you. It just feels to have ramped up quite a lot lately. My question really is around knowing where I can find out and look about what's going to happen to the whole financial situation. Lots of rumblings, lots of talkings. I mean, a lot of people talking about where to put their money and things. And I'm actually on the other side. It's like, what's going to happen to debts and mortgages? And are we going to be penalized? And what's the best thing to do? I'm being encouraged into a Forex trading thing. But to me, it seems mad because I don't think there'll be any currencies to trade between. I just wonder, it's just not a world I know, and it's very much your world, and I'm sure other people's world, and it's just feeling like it's getting really close, like somewhere in the next 2-3 months something big will happen.
Yeah.
I just wanted to voice it and see if there's any.
Well, I'm welcoming all chat comments on that. I mean, a good person, I'm sure you know her, is Catherine Austin Fitz, who's been quite vocal about this is one of the pillars of the plan to collapse the economies. And one of the interesting things that I've been tuning into this as well on, for myself. And, this World Economic Forum statement of you will own nothing suggests to me that if they do crash everything and you do have debt, that it would be a golden opportunity for the corporate banking institutions, financed institutions, to basically say, we now own your home because you can't repay the mortgage, or you have no way of repaying the mortgage, or we now own your car because you haven't paid off your car finance, or we now own your sofa, so you will own nothing. So it could be one of the strategies of how they're going to remove our assets, is to basically say, well, you can't repay the loans, so we now own them, but we will lease them back to you, but you have to comply with the rules. You have to comply with the Vax passport if you want to keep your car, and it could be one of the strategies. So yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one. A lot of people, I mean, I know Mark is attempting to buy property at the moment, and it's interesting, we had this discussion on our local community support group who met yesterday, and Sarah from that was saying that she went to an auction in Bakewell to try to buy some land. She's got some money, she wants to buy land, and there was a plot of land that was reserve price 25,000, went for 90,000. Another one, reserve price 75,000, went for 240,000, or figures like that. So, and property is just being snapped up. So people are putting money into freehold property. I know I don't know much about crypto. I don't hold any cryptocurrency. So I can't advise on that, but it's people. Yeah. My personal thing is changing money into resources, like food and, paying, like I paid a year's rent up front for my new house, just because I just know that, boom, I've got it and it's cleared off. So I don't have to. So I'm personally, I am converting money into resources so that I've got enough to last through, because my feeling is there's going to be 6 months of intense, a final last gasp effort to bulldoze this nonsense through, by the end of which I suspect that the plan will fail, because they haven't got to enough they haven't vaxxed enough people. And there will be so many people in outrage when the mass deaths come through from the vaxxers, that I think there will be just mass uprising, and it will be uncontrollable, and the entire government system will collapse. And that's why it's so important for us to be creating an alternative economy. Find your tribe, link with other tribes, get your basics sorted out, and so that we have got an alternative and we've got resources. That's my best advice to everyone at the moment, because who knows what's going to happen.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, because at the moment don't have any resources, and the only opportunity, I own my house, but I'm going to have to equity release just to be able to not be taken to the cleaners. I had a disastrous renovation 3 years ago. We won't talk about how much is sitting on credit cards. And it's just that, you know.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Sort of moving again, I think, would kill me after the 5 moves I've done in 6 years. So it's like a real, I don't know which way to go, but I think I do get the feeling that to a certain extent, no, we can't. I did ask a financial advisor who was wonderfully honest and said, I think what you need is a psychic. None of us know. I mean, none of us really know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
But it's a bit.
Well, I think, and it was quite telling actually to listen to on Rachel Speaks Out, the Jennifer Akori, is that her name? The
Yes.
ex-girlfriend of the Prime Minister, who was talking, she was alluding to the involvement of the financial institution in what's going on.
Yeah,
So
I read her article too.
Yeah, so definitely if we're to believe the Great Reset, then definitely at some point they will crash the economies as the final nail in the coffin. So we just need to be prepared, and just the best currency is resources, food, water, power, and making sure you've got your survival needs. And even if you can't do that personally, become part of a community tribe, so at least you've got friendly, supportive people who are, when the shit hits the fan, will all catch one another.
Yeah,
that's the safety net. Yeah.
See what my bath is full of.
Cool.
Absolutely rammed.
Yes.
Don't need a bath, got a shower. Thank you for letting me air that. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Annie. Okay, who would like to come next? Give a wave if you really want to come on. Let's come to Caroline Griffith.
Hi everyone. Hi Rachel.
Oh, lovely. Hi Caroline. I've got a dog now. I've got a dog. Yeah.
Oh, have you? Yes, you've got a little Frenchie, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so yeah, interesting what Annie was just saying, because actually I don't think I understand that aspect of things. And from my point of view, my immediate thought was, okay, what happens, in production facilities like we have for dog food? You'd lose all your workers if they could go ahead and, have some kind of universal credit. Why would they come into work in a freezing cold, pet food factory, So, that's not going to be the case with just that. So products, yeah, I guess it is going to crash the economy in that sense. So, but it's not my question. So my question dates back. I haven't been on a meeting since the first one, actually. I've been so busy, but so I'm really pleased they're still going, really pleased. You were talking originally back then about the PCR tests, possibly lateral flow as well. They can't differentiate between the variants of corona. Now, I mean, I fully believe that, because in canine immunology, it's done, variants are kind of done by symptoms as well, rather than the actual being able to depict individually viruses within a system, because they mutate within the gut lining so that you get a different IgA response. So I can believe that that's the case, but I can't find any information that specifically says that PCR tests don't differentiate for actual corona-19. I know they do, but I just wondered if you had any links or anything you can remember that where somebody's sort of saying this, so that I can share it with people more than anything.
Yeah, well, I did actually post a video this morning on Rachel Speaks Out on the Telegram channel, which was, what was her name? If I see interesting content, I repost it. Dr. Sam Bailey was explaining how the scam was basically put into place. And also she extensively talks in there about the PCR tests, and essentially they're looking for genetic material. They're not looking for a specific microbe or something. So that's a good explanation. It's too complicated for me to talk about, but the whole thing's a scam, basically. The PCR tests don't detect a virus, they detect a piece of like genetic material, as I understand it.
Right.
Tell everyone what you do, by the way, Caroline, so they get the dog reference.
So, well, I'm a holistic, I'm a pet industry nutrition consultant, but because I am an advocate of fresh food, because I don't believe any creature evolved on processed food or does any good on it, hence the Jamie Oliver school dinners campaign as well. Kids don't either, neither do dogs or cats, or, we just need real food, basically. So I work very much with holistic vets, and I now have a canine nutrition consultancy centre as well, with a vet in it, which it's like career defining moment. Crazily, the whole because the pet food industry's gone boom, weirdly, this whole thing has elevated me more than anything. Although obviously as a starseed, it's a lot to do with my manifestation from my hard visualization over the years, and your help, Rachel, with my original holistic pet business all those years ago. But yeah, so I don't know, very much from the the energy point of view with this sort of thing as well. And I also feel very strongly, if I've got time to say, I don't know how long I've got, but that this is some kind of download linked, because at the time that this all started last March, or whenever it was in a March, wasn't it? My mum was dying of cancer in hospital, very sadly, and we had a permission to still travel to go to see her and be with her for the first 3 weeks of lockdown, original lockdown, which there was literally nobody on the roads. Neither was there anyone in Addenbrooke's hospital, because she'd been in there for months, and it had gone from you can barely move in the concourse to you barely see anyone. And yet the news was telling everybody that the hospitals were packed, which I knew wasn't true. And mum was even above the award that they had, because she was in the respiratory end of things. So they'd set this award specially for COVID patients, and that wasn't even full. So yeah, just really interesting to be amongst that, because my focus was very much on her and my family. I feel that I might have just been protected somehow by my guides, I don't know, but I never got the download on this, and I've been able to see it observationally, and I haven't had anything awful happen. I'm not saying other people haven't, but I just feel somewhere along the line I've been able to see this for what it is right from the beginning, and I feel entirely grateful, whatever reason that is. Whether that was even something mum did for me, I don't know, because funnily enough, after she died and we cleared her house, we found in her study stacks and stacks of tins of stuff. And we were like, why would mum have been doing this?
Wow.
I'd say she was pretty conscious. I'm not the way I am for no reason, but she'd never mentioned to us. And so interesting. I don't know whether she was able to somehow stop downloads, because I do feel very much like not just the news, but on a subtle level, we're constantly sent these unnerving, almost like downloads to be stressed and downloads to be scared and anxious. And if we can protect ourselves, as you say, stay in our column of light and be as strong as possible, that it sounds like nothing, but it's a massive thing. Anyway, thank you for letting me talk.
Thanks, Caroline. Thanks for coming on. Good to see you. Okay, I'm going to mute you back, and we got lots of people waving now. Let's come to Philly J. Lay, then Orgon Box. Lots of familiar faces. But
hi, Rachel, how are you?
Hi.
Lovely to see you. Have you read my book yet?
I've been so busy moving. Sorry, but I did start it, but I just have not progressed it. Sorry.
Don't worry. So I did a great live last night with Sean Ward, from ex-Corrie actor, who's kind of thrown his career to the wolves in order to stand up to all of this, which was great. And there are a lot of people out there that are absolutely, my role in the live was to raise the energy vibration at the end, to talk about facts and hacks to cope with crap from the book and to raise the energy vibration, and people are getting this in droves. So my question is, it was really, really uplifting. My question, a couple of questions. So as is somebody who works in EFT, looks as mad as shit, but it works wonders, and energy, I'm seeing people at the moment that have been jabbed, and my youngest daughter chose to have the jab a couple of weeks ago, which broke my heart. But the minute they did the nightclubs, I lost complete control. But I've been doing a lot of clearing work, so it might not work at the moment, but I've turned magnetic.
Wow.
And I'm just wondering is there anything going on? So I work in energy. I shift people's energy. I can, clear traumas and things like this. No idea how to clear this shit. Anything coming up?
Wow.
Yeah, bit scary, isn't it?
My goodness. So you think that is to do with your daughter having had the jab and shedding to you?
Yeah, I do. I'm drinking a lot of pine tea and also mandrake tea. Obviously, I have my nettle tea every day. Dandelion I'm using a lot. So pine needle and dandelion are great for protecting ovaries. Just you ladies, men that want to tell ladies we've got to protect. Obviously not for me, ovaries. But I think this is coming from the football final where my daughter invited a load of friends over, and so I had a place full of teenagers all jabbed. So somebody was talking to me, an EFT matrix reimprint practitioner, last month, about the fact that people are going to be working on magnet rooms to draw this out. Do you have any information on that? Because I cannot find anything.
Wow. Well, I don't know about that. So we're going to have to put that over to the chat, or anyone who wants to come on and talk about this. But thanks for raising it. Yeah, Kobe's going mad here, bothering me. Sorry if you can hear in the background.
It's all right. I've got my dogs next to me. God spelt backwards.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, Philly, let's see who wants to come on and talk about the magnets and energy.
Also, before I go, because I obviously want to come back to the magnets and energy quite strongly, but I just want to ask another question about the Liberal Spring movement. Do you know much about the Liberal Spring movement?
No, talk about that.
Okay, so it's a group of people that have got together, and they are building. We've got to all try and get 5 people a day joining up to Liberal Spring. What we're going to do is springboard the Liberal Party into a party that is working for us. So they were the only party that voted against the lockdown and against the vaccine passport. It's just they don't have the numbers in government. And so Liberal Spring, and Dr. Mike Eden is one of the founder members and one of the big supporters on it. And we are literally going to lobby, find the Liberal MPs, get them elected into the House of Parliament, because let's face it, the 2 main parties are very unpopular at the moment, for a lot of us for different reasons, but they're in trouble, which is great. This is a very small moment in opportunity where we can support and rally the Liberal Party, get more MPs, get them voted in, but we need 1 million people by the end of this month to be able to lobby them. So if there's anything you can do to help, Rachel, I'd be incredibly grateful.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm on the Liberal Democrat mailing list, because I signed up to them all, actually, because I just wanted to be updated of what was the official messaging was. And I haven't received any email that I've seen talking about this.
You won't from the Liberal Party. I'm not even sure that they're aware. I'll find out on the 9th. Are you at the demonstration on the 9th?
No.
So this is a new demonstration. This is going to be done in silence, complete silence, no placards, and we are literally just standing in our set location, which hasn't been set yet, in silence, and we need massive, massive numbers. But I'm meeting with the Liberal Spring then. So Liberal Spring is an organisation set up, and then when we've got the 1 million people, we will go to the Liberal Party and go, okay, so you have 1 million of us.
Oh, I see. Okay.
We will absolutely back you 100% as long as there are never lockdowns again, as long as the vaccine passport is stopped. You have the might of 1 million people supporting you that will work, lobby, campaign, do everything that you need to get you into power.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the next general election is not until 2023, I think, or 24, 23. And it seems to me that will be far too late.
I agree with you, but I think that we need to, there will be by-elections coming up, certainly in the autumn as people start dying, and they will start dying in, I think in numbers, sadly.
Oh, of course, yeah. All the compliant Tory MPs.
Yeah. Yep. So this is
sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
No, but it's true. And so this is, the last by-election in England, the Liberals stormed it, and they had some support from Liberal Spring on that.
Okay, I see a window of opportunity opening here. Absolutely, and yes, we could be ready to pounce on those seats and get people in who are like supporting the alternative.
I mean, I'm thinking of standing. I mean, God, I'm trying to, promote my book and heal people left, right, and centre, and get my message out. And I'm just like, oh my God, have I got any more hours in my 20-hour work?
Oh my goodness! Oh, I would absolutely love to step in the shoes of Sarah Dines MP, the MP from hell that represents Derbyshire Dales, where I am in Bakewell. I'd relish that opportunity.
This is our moment to actually stand and take control. And I think we have to do it through Parliament as well as all the other stuff we're doing.
Wow, that's very interesting. Thank you for raising that, Philly. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to mute you back there.
Can we go back to my shedding?
yeah. If anyone's got any advice on that, I welcome comments. Let's come to Orgon Box. I keep forgetting your name, Orgon Box.
Hiya. Hi, Rachel. It's Maria.
Maria.
Yeah.
Hi.
I should change it really, but it's because the name is an energy, so I'm sort of attached to it as well as music. I have put a link on a name. I'll just show you it quick with regards to the survival issue that somebody was just talking about. So I don't know whether you can see that.
Yes, full spectrum survival.
Yeah, really, I watched it myself the other day. Really, some fabulous tips. Actually, it's got an expert on there. They're based in the US, and obviously, they've got a vast land and God knows what. But the guy was really interesting because he tried to give an idea of how small holdings, back gardens, things like that, things that you could do. And so that's in relation to, I think it was Annie that was asking, what do you do about survival and how do you stockpile and things like that. Yeah. So that's a great source to go to. And I think it's still on YouTube at the moment. So I'd have a look at it if I was you guys.
Send me the link on Telegram and I'll repost it.
Yeah, I will do.
Rachel Speaks Out.
Yeah, I will do. Mine's, I know nothing about the magnetic stuff. I'd be really interested to find out what you find out, Philly. So some good stuff I'm looking forward to learning. Mine's good stuff. Since I joined the Stand in the Park, which was some time ago, through the recommendation of many of you guys, we managed to put a gig on yesterday, which was fantastic because obviously as a band, you really miss playing and stuff like that. There was only myself and the other person that's associated with the Orgon Box. He's the writer and stuff. So we didn't have much. All we had was our voices, a guitar and a couple of shakers, but we just done some covers that we'd sit and listen to. We were having a gin and tonic really. So we thought, right, we'll do 10 covers and it went really well. So it was a really nice catch up, I suppose. And it was nice to get together with folk. And that's it really. Mine was just just to let you know that things are kind of okay. even though all this crap is going on all around us, we know it's coming in a lot faster and thicker than maybe any of us anticipated. And I do wish and hope Brian, I think you're right, Rachel, I think he needs some some really good representation there. Doesn't feel right what's happening. So he feels like he's somewhat isolated, which doesn't sit well, I'm sure, with most of us. I'm glad to hear that there's going to be a silent protest, because I think UK Column actually mentioned that. I think it was Brian Garish who was making the point that when you are, if you like, that you want that collective movement, there's got to be something really powerful driving you. And although I've watched many, many things, there's a lot of subgroups and many people have got different ideas of what they're protesting against, if you like, and they're all valid. That's beside the point. They are all valid. But for me, I do feel that the focus has to be really brought in to make it so powerful that actually our voice does get heard, and it gets heard in that silence. As a therapist, and any of you who work with that, you'll know silence is so powerful that you cannot ignore it. You really can't. So I just hope all those that manage to get there. I sadly can't. I've got other commitments with elderly parents, sadly. But my silence will be there, and I'll certainly I'm behind all of that. And that'll be fantastic. If that can be achieved and pulled off, wow. I will be looking forward to that noise from that silence. So really, that's all I kind of want to say. And good luck in your relationship as well, because it's lovely to have someone else to have a good moan at. When you're on your own, it's like, I need someone to moan at. So, and thanks once again for holding this. And that's it, really. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you, Maria.
No problem.
Thanks for coming on. I'm going to come next to Amanda Saunders and then to Sass. Okay, so Amanda, I just read in the comments, the chat, that you've got issues with your parents.
Oh, absolutely, with my parents and my siblings, and they desperately want me to have the clot shot and double, and if I don't get it soon enough, they threatening me that I could soon be kicked out of this house that I'm in.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because I'm in this house because of my epilepsy, and not all the caregivers here do have the vax. There's a few of them that doesn't have the vax, so I'm going to tell them that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I don't know. They just they are so into the media. They're buying into the media. They buy the newspapers every day. But I've tried hard, but they don't want to listen.
Wow. That's such a difficult situation, Amanda. Really sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Are you in contact with anyone locally who are like alternative, freedom conscious people?
I've got in Telegram, I'm in a few groups and a local group.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's worth reaching out to your local group, local people, to see if there's any place where you can relocate to, even any support place, any community group, eco community that you could potentially relocate to, just to sort of get yourself to a safe space, because essentially it's a form of abuse, as a lot of people have been saying this, but it is a form of abuse, this coercion. And
absolutely,
it's domestic abuse, basically, whether it's coming from a partner or parents, or any situation where you are being forced to do things you don't want to do and threatened, is an abusive situation. And so it's serious, and I'm glad that you're standing up and in your strong in your no. But it's difficult, and you know, from a trauma healing perspective, it's always good to get yourself to a safe space.
I said to my mom on the phone the other day that if they're gonna kick me out of this house, I said I don't care. I will take my cheapest violin with me and do busking with it, and I know that God will provide for me.
Yes, it's good to have that faith, Amanda. But you know,
I can tell you.
Yeah, sorry.
I can tell you something. Because of my epilepsy, I have I actually feel that it is because of my faith in God that I am actually alive today.
Yes.
Because when overseas, when I was still in South Africa, somebody, when I was there, and that guy, he was in his early 20s and he died of a seizure. And I thought that my time was coming very soon after him because of my seizures.
Yeah.
But because of my faith, I believe that I'm still alive today. And
Amanda,
if I get kicked out, my faith will keep me alive.
Yes. Amanda, where do you live?
In Auckland.
In New Zealand?
Yes.
Okay. So, well, I mean, that's an interesting one because Mark Moriarty, he is from New Zealand, and I'm certain he would have some contacts to help you as just a starter, as just a starting point. I don't know if he's on the call. I sent him the link and suggested he came on today. So Mark, if you're watching, maybe put your hand up so you get to the top of the screen, and I'll get you on the call so you maybe can help Amanda. Thanks for sharing, Amanda, and yeah, keep the faith. We all have to keep that faith. It really does help to have that faith in a higher power at the current time. Yeah. Okay, lots of love to you. Okay, I'm just gonna, let's come to Sass next. Just need to unmute you. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. You're all still keeping sane, so this is really helpful, Rachel, to bring us back into sanity and like help more normal people. Amanda, my heart goes out to you. It's really awful when you feel ostracized in life in general, but especially through your own parents. But unfortunately, it sounds like they've been hypnotized like so many other people. I had a terrible experience last week with a dentist. I don't know if anybody else has experienced any. It's like something out of the Marathon Man. If anybody who's seen that film, or I can see that happening. I was at the dentist last week, and I just wanted to say before I start on that to Philly and to other people as well. I have heard, I don't know if anybody else has, but I do really feel they're on their way, is something called the med beds, which is a quantum healing system that is an alien technology, but it's been filtered down. And they're using them for the children that have been rescued from the deep underground military bases where they've been born and bred down in these awful deep tunnels all over the world. And they are so obviously alienated from this world that they're actually in so much danger of death and obliteration when they come to the surface that they put them on these med beds. So they're the first ones that they're using them on. But according to the quantum healing that they offer, it can reverse everything, including any illnesses, any chronic disease, any vaccinations, to basically restore you back to the 0 point. So that's just good news, and that is going to be filtering through. And I think they are planning on having some in Manchester fairly soon. So as soon as I get any information on that, I will, of course, share it. But just going back to feeling ostracized, I went to the dentist, and of course it was on the 19th of July, so everything's supposed to be lifted. So already I'd had a sort of whenever I walked into this dentist before, there'd been such a feeling of tension and anxiety. It was palpable. And it's the last thing you need when you're going for dental treatment, is to feel, as you walk in, a wall of fear and terror and anxiety. So when I had originally gone after the lockdown, I'd already phoned them and said, I don't wear masks. What is your protocol? And they said, well, if you can stay outside and we'll sit in the car and we'll call you when you can come in. So that ensued, and there was nobody else in the waiting room whilst I went in, so that was fine. But when the dentist came down, he had some alien technology on his face, with incredible breathing apparatus and visors and everything. It was really quite scary. And as I started to walk up these very steep stairs towards his, towards his room, he shouted at me, "Don't touch the railings!" And I said, "Why?" I said, "Why have you painted them?" And he said, I tried to keep a straight face, obviously. And he said, no, COVID. I said, I wouldn't worry. I said, it's a flu thing that goes in the summer. I shouldn't worry. But he was obviously absolutely. So it kind of set the ball rolling for my next visits. And the last one I had, I was determined that I was going to leave a load of light papers. And the most recent one on the front had, off the yellow card system the government have, the website, all the sort of reported adverse reactions. And so the information had been put onto the front cover of the light paper, which said over 1,400 deaths from the jab and over 1 million adverse reactions. So I was reading this in the waiting room. There was nobody else there. And I thought, actually, there's no material in here. They haven't got any Hello magazines or their normal stuff that they normally have. They're OK magazines, all this kind of thing. I thought I'd put some interesting information for the next client or the next patient. So I left a load in the room, and then this dentist came down for me again, all garbed up with all this sort of incredible. I said, "Is that you in there, Richard?" kind of thing, trying to make light of it, but they are not light at all. They are so deadly serious. And this is where I see the sort of how the fear is spread, because everywhere you go in places like this, it's all so in your face, even though it was the 19th and it's supposed to be lifted. So I went and had some treatment. Because it's been so long since I've had any, some disastrous things have happened in my mouth. So he took a bit longer to explain things to me. And as I went downstairs, I thought, oh my God, I'm exhausted after all of that. And behind these screens, these receptionists, and they're not the most friendliest of people at the best of times. I don't know if anybody's come across a friendly receptionist as a doctors or dentists, but they didn't even say hello to you. You haven't seen you for sort of like a year and a half. And there's been a huge pandemic. And so you'd think they'd say, hello, how are you? But no, the first thing they say is, where's your mask? Have you got sanitize your hands? And so, it's like, oh my God, where's the humanity gone? It's really, really bizarre. Anyway, I came downstairs and was about to sign something, and they shouted at me, "No, that pen hasn't been sanitized." And I went, oh my God, what are we going to do? I said, what are you going to do when you find out all this is a hoax? How are you going to feel? So we ended up having this conversation about everything about the PCR test and how there's been hardly any more deaths this year than the previous 5 years. So how do they reckon with that? Anyway, as I went home, they'd obviously been so shocked with my response that they then all got together, collaborated, the new owners, the old owner, and all the reception staff, and they decided that they were going to phone me, email me, and send me a letter about the horror of how they felt, how I was behaved in their dental. And they said, we've completely broken down our relationship, even though I've been there for 54 years, the first incident ever. And he said, so he went on about how dare I speak to his staff and tell them to clear all this paraphernalia around the virus. He said, how dare you say that? I said, well, actually, I didn't actually say anything about clearing things. I just said the anxiety was palpable, and I thought I'd put them straight on a few things to reduce their anxiety around the whole thing. And then he said, and to my horror, my client after lunch came and held up this conspiracy theorist paper with anti-vax and terrible things in it. And he said, they thought we put them out there as a dentist. You betrayed me. You've gone behind my back. How dare you? And so honestly, reams and reams and reams of letter. And he said, I don't think I can treat you anymore. And he said, but I've really stuck really stuck behind you and said, I need to finish your treatment before I retire. So the new owners have just relented, but you can't come in without a mask, or you have to stay in the car. You have to be escorted to my room, so you can't put anything in the. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, this unbelievable. And it was the 19th of July. I said, oh, I just thought it'd be interesting material for them. I said, it's not anything to do with conspiracies. I said, it's facts off the government's own website. But anyway, that was just my one experience of the dentist. And so now I've got loads of treatment with him. And I said, if anyone's seen that film, The Marathon Man, where they use dentistry. So all I'm saying is, if next time I'm on this call and I've got no teeth, will somebody stick up for me? So I have to see the funny side of it. But honestly, my name is Mother, and if my mother catches out that I've fallen out with the dentist, who she reveres and honors with, bowing to him, I tell you what, I'll never be spoken to again. But anyway, hopefully none of you will have experience. But I just want to say, do not put any light papers in the reception at the dentist, because it doesn't go down very well. And I might be needing the beds myself.
Oh dear.
Anyway, congratulations, Rachel. I'm so glad that you've fallen in love. And I'm looking forward to hearing the story of from the situation that we're in to how romance can blossom even under these tyrannous situations.
Yes.
But I do feel the light is spreading, and that more than the newspaper, which is spreading. That I had some great conversations with the Stand in the Park group, and they are standing on roundabouts in Macclesfield every week. So anybody comes through Macclesfield, they've got people on the big major roundabout by Sainsbury's with all their placards, and they're brilliant. Some of them are so humorous, but they are obviously hitting a message there. And there's loads of people that are sort of actually, kind of welcoming the fact that they are sharing this information. But it is a hardcore. It is like getting through treacle. I do live in Treacle Town, so please may I have your sympathies that the energy is a lot to get through with this sort of fear. But it is going to loosen up. But as it loosens up, the other energy is going to get stronger. So please don't be pulled down. Get together in circles, sing, dance, be merry, be happy. That's the way we keep saying.
Yeah. Thank you, Sass.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming on and lightening the show. It's with that Monty Python sketch. Okay, let's come to Bampi Niblo. Let's get some masculine energy on here to lots of women speaking.
Joe.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. My name's Don Haney. It's an honor to be joining in with everyone here. I'm from Swansea in South Wales, and there's two things I'd like to bring to everyone's attention, which I found useful information recently. One is Mike Yaden's latest interview video, where he states plainly that this is a depopulation agenda.
Yes.
And I think he's a very credible authority in the medical sciences, and it's a useful one to bring to the attention of all the compliant people around us.
Yes.
The other thing is that there's a information lockdown going on internationally, and I think people should be aware of what is happening out in France right now.
Yes.
The French people are united, the vaxxed people and the unvaxxed people have united in taking action against the tyranny out there.
Yeah.
There was an excellent interview on 21st Century Wire last night with Patrick Henningson interviewed an independent reporter. I think his name was Freddie Ponton. I'm not sure if I got that name right. But he reports that the French people are literally at breaking point out in France. And,
Yes.
you know, if Macron and the French authorities don't comply with their demands very soon, that the situation is going to become very chaotic out there.
Yeah.
There's talk about the military being called in to support the police, the gendarmes,
Yes.
etc. And also the French reporter made a call to the UK public as well, you know, to show unity, international unity now, because I think we're approaching a time where the window's closing for us to claim our freedom back, you know?
Yes.
That's about it, really, for what I
Okay.
wanted to
Yeah.
bring
Thank
to the
you,
party.
Vampy. Yeah. Thank you for coming on and sharing that. Yeah, it's interesting to see that the French are revolting. And yes, what an amazing echo of the storming of the Bastille and the French Revolution to have that uprising. And, you know, I just think that it was so funny watching some of the scenes in France. And as Mark was saying, like the police now looking like something out of a sci-fi movie with their uniforms, with all this padding, and they just look surreal the way they're dressed. And just like the mass of people, even with the army, how on earth can they stop this wave, this force of people now just collectively standing up and saying no? And it's just like so many people that they're just, you know, they've reached as far as they can get, I feel, with the plan. And it's just, there is a wall now, a wall of resistance. Okay, I'm going to come next to iPhone. I don't know your name, but you've got a black and white dress and some dreadlocks. Your hand is up. That's you. Yes. Speak. Can you speak? Are you unmuted? I don't know your name, but you have your hand up. I'm asking you to unmute, and if yes, can you speak? No, we can't hear you. You need to get a microphone on, I think. Let's come to David Baines, patiently waiting there. And if you can come back, if you can get yourself on a microphone, lady with the dreadlocks, I'll come back to you. David, can you
Hi,
speak?
Rachel.
Hi, hello.
Hi, long
How are you
time
doing?
no speak.
Are you still resisting the vax letters?
The French are revolting. I thought it was only there was in Parliament that was revolting.
Are you still resisting the vax letters?
Oh, yeah.
How many have you got so far?
Definitely. I've never touched this stuff.
Good.
It's the same as fags. Never touched them.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. I'm in quite a difficult situation, actually. It only occurred within the last week or so. I've a lodger that has been here 6 years, and she spoke to my landlord with regarding to sort of my behaviour only a few days ago, and the landlord sent me an email to say he wants to close the property down and sell it. So it means he's given me 2 months to get out.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's illegal, David, under Coronavirus Act. I'm sure he has to give you a lot more notice.
I've looked at that. I've looked at that act, and it contradicts itself. First, it gives the date, and then further down the text, it just seems to go away from the from that particular date that it's given previously, and
Yeah,
it's
David, I would definitely go.
It's all contradictory.
Okay, David, I
I've
would
been-
definitely go to the Citizens Advice Bureau and
Yeah.
get their support. But I've been through this with my landlord who tried to evict me, and I basically said I want 6 months under Coronavirus Act. They
Well,
reduced it to 4 months, but it is
I-
4 months now.
Yeah, I told him that on Zoom last night, and he said, "Oh no, this is a private arrangement. You signed a document 4 years ago to be out in 2 months."
Wow.
I've been here 9.5 years actually.
Wow. Oh my
So-
goodness gracious. Well, that I would definitely stand up to him. And this, you know, with all of these situations, David, it really is, I see it all as a cosmic challenge of our ability to stand really strong in our no to the bullies, whether it's the bullies of the government, the bullies of the landlords, the bullies of our family, the bullies of our relationships. Just no, I do not consent. I will not be bullied by you. No.
Exactly.
End of story. You will not push me around. You will not bully me. And, you know, just absolutely. And I because it is, they are trying to break us, you know.
It's the same as the French.
So this is,
Resist.
yeah. And you've got a lot of support here, David, a lot of
Thank you.
support. And if you need any help, or if you'd like me to get on the phone and breathe some fire, I'm in that kind of mood at the moment of breathing some fire at someone.
I often send you an email, but I got a reply to say there's too many. You get too many emails.
Let me think of a word to put in the title that will get you to the top of the list. If you put rising with an E on the end, RISINGE. Don't tell anyone else though about that, because I don't want to be inundated. Rising, 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 rising with an E on the end. If you put that in the email, I'll get your email and I'll fish it out. And
Many thanks.
if you give me a phone number of your,
I was also trying to get in touch with Ray Savage, but he gave me his phone number about 6 weeks ago on here, but I've lost it.
Okay, I've got his number as well. So if you email me,
you.
And if you give me the name and the telephone number of your landlord, I will happily phone him or her and say I'm planning to do a video article to social media about his victimization of you, and would he care to comment?
Right. He lives in Bristol.
Yes, we will set our Bristol contingent on him. No, we're really going to have to stand up, and this is why it's so good to have like this kind of tribe solidarity, so that it's not just us versus, it's like the collective. You're now dealing with the collective, you're dealing with the tribe, you're dealing with all of us. You're not just dealing with one person, bullying one person. You're now picking on a whole collective of us. And we are standing strong in solidarity to say no to this bullying in all its shapes and forms, because this is what it's truly about. It's about abuse, about being abused by people. So, so do send me an email, David, and I'll look out for that.
Thank you very
Lots
much.
of love.
Thank you.
Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Okay. Bye, David.
Bye.
All right. So let's just, for the last word, let's just come back to Brian. Do you want to have the last word this week, Brian?
Yes, absolutely amazing. You can't hear me, can you, Rachel?
Yes, yes.
Well done for all your support. There's a lot of vulnerable people out there. Where I am, there is some vulnerable people here having breakdowns, wanting to do suicide, to say nothing of schizophrenic people hearing voices. They have been encouraged to take the vaccine. I can't say too much. I have to keep it down because they call me a conspiracist. And I don't want to come across as paranoid either. Anything I say is written down and used in evidence against me.
Wow.
I can't even get too angry. Yes, the doctors have far too much power now. Yes, power corrupts, ultimate power corrupts ultimately. I believe humanity is under attack. I believe our governments have been to Donkey Island. They are Pinocchio and they have no conscience. They are psychopaths. And we as empaths have to stand up together. We feel it.
Yes.
I feel the people in here. My parents worked at the hospital, so I have some sympathy and I can work with these people. They don't frighten me. But I don't believe that I have a mental illness. I've been diagnosed with bipolar, but I do the middle ground. And I teach it because I realise that I create my own suffering, the realisation what I can do about that suffering, and the realisation of the Eightfold Path, which is the right action, the right habits, the right food, the right water, growing our own food, getting to empowerment. They don't like it that we are getting empowered.
Yes.
I had a go at the council when I was there, and at the homeless charity, and at the food bank, where it is sort of a corrupt charity. We have the World Health, the World Wildlife Fund in Woking as well. They have corrupted the poppy. And yes, we will hold them to account, Rachel. Nice to see you on the march.
Yes.
I couldn't make it myself, but you are doing it. The people around you are doing it. And it's nice to see you strong. And together we are strong. We will build our community back. We don't need a government. The councils have their own money. The NHS is a trust. I've been trying to sort of find out about this trust now and who is managing the trust. The doctors aren't accountable. They've always got a catch-22, Rachel.
Yeah.
And you know it. I follow you, Rachel Speaks Out, and the other sites, Hugo Talks.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a like-minded people all over the world.
Yeah. Okay, Brian.
And we will do it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. And yes,
Please
we will.
drop me an email, Rachel.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian. I'll probably send you a message on Telegram, okay? But thank you for coming on. Thanks for having the last words. And
thank you
keep
for
the
all your
faith.
help.
Okay, lots of love. Okay, let's just come across the screens just to see who we've still got on. Give us a wave goodbye. Sorry we couldn't get to more people, and just thank you all so much for coming on, and so many people coming on week after week and sharing their stories. So lots of love to you. Nice to see everybody on the call. Yeah, it's great to see you all. So thank you for joining in, and see you in 2 weeks' time, which will be the 16th, Monday, the 16th of August at 12 noon. Sending you all so much love. Bye for now. Bye-bye.